I'm going to read my founder's message from the official playbook for Right Out of the Darkness and Love Surrounds You. Founder's message. When I created Love Surrounds You, it wasn't born from a business plan. It wasn't strategic. It wasn't polished. It came from grief, trauma, confusion, and a moment when I nearly lost myself. On April 2nd, 2019, when my youngest sister, Kristen Mia Tenpenny, died, everything inside me, my children, and my family broke open. Grief is not just sadness. It is disorientation. It is identity collapse. It is a spiritual concussion. And when it hit, I didn't just lose my sister. I lost my sense of direction. I had struggled for years with my own mental health, depression, and lack of soul purpose for much of my life. It's like I've lived so many lives in this one lifetime, and each one offered a painful life lesson and a major spiritual growth. Before and after Kristen's death, I wrestled with thoughts of not wanting to exist. I had just gone through a divorce and experienced deep but personal betrayals. I felt invisible, unwanted, and disconnected from myself. My children had recently become adults, and as a young mother who had them at 17 and 19, the shift into empty nest was profound. Motherhood, another identity, changed that same year forever. I didn't know where I belonged or how to carry the weight of losing Kristen while watching a once loving family fracture under the pain. After her death, we planned a memorial walk in 2020 through another nonprofit organization. It was canceled when COVID shut down everything. The world went quiet, and so did my life. But in that silence, at my lowest point, something inside me whispered, "You are not done. Connect with people, create something, do this for Kristen, do this for yourself." I had never ridden a motorcycle alone before, but I was drowning and I needed something to wake up my soul. I learned to ride, nervous, uncertain, but determined. Therapy alone wasn't enough. Riding gave me movement, connection, breath, and presence. Motorcycles became my therapy. The road became my breath, and little by little, I began to heal, connect with so many others who lost someone to suicide or had their own personal struggles. That same year, about 30 people joined us for a small memorial ride. Nothing formal, nothing polished, just shared pain, open hearts, and raw love. We didn't know it then, but that moment became the first spark of what would grow into Right Out of the Darkness. That day wasn't just for Kristen. It was for every person who has ever felt alone, for every family impacted by mental health struggles and suicide loss, for every soul navigating silent darkness. And it was for me, the version of myself who barely was holding on. Over time, the movement grew bigger, louder, and more unified, but the purpose never changed. To bring people back to love, to remind them they are not alone, to offer real resources, real community, and real hope, to replace silence with connection, to create something truly inclusive to all humans, to replace isolation with belonging, and most of all, to replace fear with love. This playbook is not a rule book. It is a calling, a responsibility, a sacred guide. Inside these pages are the systems, timelines, checklists, and standards. But more importantly, it is a blueprint for how we save lives, one community at a time. If you are reading this, you are here for a reason. Not by accident, not by coincidence. Something in you recognizes that this work is bigger than one of us. Thank you for this movement, carrying this movement forward, for Kristen, for your loved ones, for your community, and for the versions of yourself that survived long enough to be here. Love surrounds you, love surrounds us. With love, purpose, and truth, Amanda, National Founder and Executive Director, Love Surrounds You, Right Out of the Darkness.